Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Steins Gate Zero. It's episode 16, and you know what to do, as always. If you want to see the reaction itself, please go down into my descriptions. You will find links, replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots, and enjoy the reaction itself. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear out my thoughts about this episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, come on, that was an awesome episode. I'm still grinning like a Cheshire cat. I don't know. It was good. It was not a funny one, not at all, but it was a very emotional one. It was one where finally the friends made a stand to and against Okarin, which was necessary, which was clearly needed, and it's so good to see. I mean, there was the last episodes, all this time, it was, from many of them, it was about trust towards Okarin, that he will make the right decision, that he will find a solution. And now there's a point, like a snapping point, where they are all like, we can't take it anymore. We have to do something ourselves. We have to push him. We have to open up to him. We have to tell him, and if needed, we have to punch him in the face. So that was a good one. It started off with Mayuri looking so unhappy, and I was really afraid in this episode that something terrible would be happening, that we would see, like, I don't know, like a split of Mayuri leaving the group, or later on when she heard about what it was about, that Kurisu kind of sacrificed herself for her. That, I mean, I saw the option that Mayuri, being good as at heart as she is, that she kind of would have put the pistol on the forehead of Okarin, by doing something stupid herself. Like, now you have to build a time machine. Now you have to do something to save me again. You know, stuff like that. I could see this option, that she would, I don't know, jump from a building or whatever. Didn't happen, thankfully. So she waited for Okarin in front of the university. She talked to him. She did not tell him what she thought, and I think that's a major problem there. Possibly honesty and sincerity would have been the option, but she kind of tested him, you could say. She informed him that Daru is waiting in the lab and he needs him. I mean, it was not like he needs you as a scientist. That was clear. He needs you as a friend. He needs you as a pal that he has grown up with. He has a girlfriend now. There's so much he needs to talk about. And Aragi was distracted again. You could feel this. It's not like he doesn't care, but there are other things on his mind, and he didn't seem to realize how important it is. Then she tried it with the lab coat, which is the lab coat of Kurisu. And he was willing to give it away, so he was like ending it there. And that's the thing that hit her, and I think. Mayuri, was always so aware how deep the feelings and the pain in Okarin are, and him being willing to sacrifice his lab coat and acting like it is nothing while he defended it so strongly in the past, he's finishing up. He closes the chapter and he will not work on it anymore, but he did not tend his wounds. That's the thing. He still is hurt, so he will, and that's the thing, carry this damage, this pain forever. And I think that's something that she's not willing to accept. Him being hurt forever. But she did not see any solution. And that's a major problem here. She cannot solve it. She's just not able to. She cannot solve this riddle, this problem that is set by time. So that's why she's unhappy. Because she sees him suffering. She suffers herself due to it. She sees that he's kind of losing his friends because he is numbing himself emotionally, I think, in many ways. And this road goes directly towards a wall. You know, he's driving full speed towards a wall and she can't help him and stop it. So I see why she is down. We have the reminder of what happened in the past by the exploding microwave. I like that. It was like, okay, here we go again. I will increase your rent. We have a jelly banana again in it. So they are on the same steps we had in the first episodes of Steins Gate. And we have Okarin appearing and finding out what the heck is happening. So there are multiple things there. First things first, the creepiness of Daru is a very good disguise for what they are doing. Because when Okarin comes in, he just thinks that Daru did some stuff in the internet again, and that's why he didn't open the door and, you know, like that. So that would have been a good disguise, but then there are multiple things. One thing is Daru is really bad at lying. And can't keep a secret at all. I mean, he's too honest. He's too much of a good guy after all. So Okarin found it out, is clearly, and I still understand it, shocked and angry. And he just goes over the limits. And that's the thing. So there was too much time he took in the past. He still didn't do anything. And he once again clearly states that he will never ever do anything. And then starts shouting about everyone like they are not allowed to do something against it. And that's the thing. Yes, he has a very special insight on what happened. He has a very special relationship with the disaster that occurred in the past. But you cannot take from the others that they care. You cannot take their feelings, their motivations. You have to at least understand them and accept them and listen to them and argue with them, but not push them away. Because that's what he's doing. He's pushing their ideas away all the time. And he went too far. He stepped over line there against Maho. And that's something Daru couldn't take anymore. I mean, it's not just about what he said there at the moment. It piled up over the weeks, I guess. So Daru punched him. And I didn't see that one coming. And I really liked it. It was a good one. Because it is a clear statement. So Daru made his point there in many ways. And telling him afterwards. Maho made her point as well. This is the scene here on the rooftop. I like it. Very nicely done with the water and the mirrors, mirror effects and everything. And she very clearly pointed out multiple things here. The one thing is, Okarin blames or states that the decision he had to make is because there is no alternative. It is written in stone. It is God's law that you can't save both of the girls. Which we discussed it in the comments and multiple ones of you pointed out is not exactly true. It is due to the events in the original Steins Gate because CERN was involved and it was in their database, due to which Mayuri had to die again and again. If you would find a solution to, as example, jump further into the past, or I think there are other options. There is an alternative. There is an option. There is a chance. So the problem was that Okarin was not able to do anymore to search for other options because he, as he states himself, was heartbroken. There is just so much a human being can take. And he was at his limits at this time. So I understand his reasons, but it is not God's law. And that's something Maho points out. There are laws of physics. There are laws of the universe which are fundamental. As a scientist, you know them. And if you don't, you can find them out by scientific theory and by research. That is what a scientist does. Not falling back onto it is God's law. Because that is, I don't understand it, and I will just take it. As a scientist, you have to search. You have to keep asking. Have to keep digging. And as she said, it's 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000 times. And what they're searching for, Steins Gate, is the perfect solution for them. No world war, no CERN-driven future, to say so, in this negative, this dystopia. And both of the girls are alive, and everyone else. And there are nearly endless options in timelines, so you just have to keep searching. And the question is how to do it without freaking out, without being emotionally damaged as Okarin was. I think that's the thing they have to search for. So she made a statement there, and she kind of questioned him being a scientist. Because that's what it felt in for me in the undertone. Right now, you're not really a scientist. You are evading things. Which is possible. You know, you could... there's this saying, don't trust, I'm not completely sure, a diagram unless you have made it yourself. Or unless you have cheated it with yourself. If you... you can take science and the results of science, what you get, and depending on how you look at it, you can interpret it in completely different ways. And you can even, if you want to, see completely opposite opinions in the same research. And I think right now he's avoiding the problems that he encountered in the past. And going to America, I'm not sure if it is running away, but it feels a little bit. So that's that. And then we have the long-needed talk with Mayushi. But before that, we had the moment of Mayuri and Ruka. And I liked that. That was a really good one. For a moment, I thought, like, what if those two get together? Why not? I mean, why not? He's a boy. So Ruka helping as good as he can with Mayuri. And as Ruka said it himself very clearly when she thanked him, that's all I can do. It's not much, but it's what I can do. Just giving her this and listening to her, you know. He has no solution either. So Mayuri wanted to be like the love of, the question is, of Okarin, I'm not sure. She's very well aware that Marquise Kurizu is the one in the heart of Okarin and possibly will always be. I still hope that she will have someone. Really do. It would be nice. And she suffers so much in this episode and in the last episodes that I really feel bad for her, because she is the heart and soul of this series, as we all know. So when the two of Mayuri and Okarin finally meet up on this in this old garden, in this park again, where they met in the past as well, they are finally able to talk, and she finally is able to tell him what she feels. And it is this, I'm kind of losing you, you know? The fact that she sees and understands what's going on, and that she sees the pain in him. And she is in many ways his, like a mirror for him, I'm not sure. She's such an important part of his life, and was in the past. Although he tries to avoid her, I think she's a little bit like his inner self, like his reflecting image, like the voice that tells you when something is wrong. Many of us have this moment when when we listen closely to ourselves, there are things we don't like, and sometimes we just ignore it, and sometimes we realize it and we listen just to the inner self. We don't know why. You know, you take something to eat and you don't know why, but you're like, I shouldn't continue eating. I had that. And I was like, why? I mean, it's tasty. it's possibly good for me. Why don't I want? And then there's this moment when, like, you have to ask yourself, what do you want? And I'm like, okay, I don't know why, I will just not eat it anymore. Just think. And, I mean, okay, I didn't eat it, so what? I will take something else. This inner voice, that, this subconsciousness maybe, in my opinion, when it comes to Okarin, in many ways it is Mayuri. Because she keeps him to a mark, she keeps him emotionally and as a person grounded, and she sees the pain he's in, she sees the path he is on, and that is a path of avoiding and running away, but never getting rid of the pain. And she tells him that, and you can see in his eyes when he looks at her why she says it, that it's true. You can see he understands and he agrees, and he just has no solution, you know. And then she starts blaming on herself, which I can understand. So we had, I think, I'm not sure if I had it in the discussion at the end of Steins Gate, but it was this decision between bad and worse. And I said it at this time, I'm pretty sure that it doesn't matter which decision he takes, the other one is not good either. So Kurisu being dead, whatever good it made for the world, in this case for Mayuri, once Mayuri finds out, she will blame it on herself, and she does. That's the thing. And it doesn't matter if it was a choice of Kurisu. It is the fact that someone died so that you can live. How do you cope with that? How to, if you're a good person, if you're someone who is empathic, that is not an easy thing to do. If you're someone who doesn't care, who's an egomaniac, possibly that's easy to do, or at least more easy than the other way around. But as someone like Mayuri, who is just heart and soul in perfect embodiment, it was clear that she would take it to her heart. So, and he tries to stop her doing it, which she can't. And I mean, so the thing is now, he's in this situation now, and I think that is something that was needed. Now he suffers, Mayuri suffers, what he always wanted to avoid. He wanted to make sure that Mayuri has a happy life, and she will not have any more, not as happy as could be. And there is the option for a happy life. Steins Gate. It is there. Maho said, scientifically, there is this option. We have to keep on digging. So I really hope that next episode he will turn around, that he will set the sails for another adventure in time. And it will be interesting. Definitely will be. As I said, a very good episode. I like majorly the scene on the rooftop, which I have here. The fact that Maho is so reflecting on herself, being aware that she failed so many times in her view against Kurisu. So she sees herself as the one following in the footsteps, always a little bit behind Marquise Kurisu, always outshadowed, outsmarted. It's not a good thing to look at yourself like that, but she keeps on fighting. So for now it's okay. But I really hope that she finds the moment where she goes a step further, you know, where she is able to do something and finally see herself as someone who is better than Marquise Kurisu. Because I think in many ways Maho is really a fantastic person and scientist. So she has no reason to put herself into Marquise's shadow. That's it for this time. As I said, a great episode. In my opinion, a major turning point in the episode, in the season, I hope. And I will see you the next time. Until then, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.